Hello, my name is Rap. This is my new video about Warframe. Uh, Today I'm playing with Nova. Nova or Nova Prime. My two Novas have exactly the same build. The only difference is in my normal Nova, I remove it primate continuity and only have strength mods here, and have also intensify. Exactly the same, but it does more damage with less duration. So this is because it is the prime version. It is a 3-former build, and also have the auxiliary slot. I always use sure-footed. Because I'm not using fortitude, I not always block, but most of the times block the knockdown, so it's very helpful. Okay, my primary will be the Vaykor Hek. In my normal hack, I always have corrosive damage. This hack, I have default magnetic, but I'm going to take blast. I also have magnetic in config high and blast in config C. So I'm gonna take blast. Blast is good by the fact that you can use all the 3 damage mods, because you can use blaze. You cannot use blaze if you have a magnetic or a corrosive, because it will mess the final elementor. It shouldn't mess, but it should have. For instance, if you have corrosive, it should have hit to the weapon, but it doesn't. It removes corrosive and becomes blast, or becomes gas. I think it's gas, and it nullify the toxin. It nullified the toxin mods. I don't know why, but I only use blaze when I'm building for blast. My secondary will be the Afuris. This is a 3-former build. I use Strength mag, don't use Lethal Torrent in this weapon, and I remove it convulsion to use Bore. I don't use Lethal Torrent. I know that I lose 60% multi-shot, but this weapon have a high rate of fire, and if you use Lethal Torrent, you can only use the weapon for a few seconds, because you run out of ammo very easy. So I don't use Lethal Torrent, and I use Strength mag, at least to boost the weapon a little bit, to be able to use it a little more. Now, my melee will be the Prova Vandal. Don't have formas, because when the stance mod were introduced, these boosting points give you the ability to fully mold the weapon without requiring any forma. You only need to use a catalyst in the weapon. My Kubrow will be, it was my first, have my name. It will be a Sahasa. It is also a 4-former build. Like the Sonica, I used the Sahasa very few times, so I only formed it 4 times. I'm leveling, I still didn't max it, but I'm going to leave the build very similar to the Sonica. I already have the most important mods, so I'm going to add a few something, or link armor or shelter, loyal companion, something like that. With the rest of the points that I still need to level. Well, I just wanted to say something about what the person asked me. Well, if you look for best builds, you have lots of videos in YouTube. People, best build for C frame, best build for X frame. I never do that when I'm modding a frame. The first thing for instance, I was going to play with Nova for the first time. The first thing I do is I'm going to read her abilities. Then I look at the stats. Then when we pass to gameplay, I will going to try range, duration and strength, and see in which contest each ability perform better, but in relation to my gameplay. So when you are using other build from other person and make it to yourself without looking at the way you play, or with that frame, or in general, you may start to build a frame that it isn't useful to you. Sure, damage is always useful because people always worried about damage, but keep in mind that damage doesn't scale with the enemy. If your For instance, if your preferred mission is endless missions, your builds will become flat at some point. So it's always good to keep all the aspects in mind. If you play only normal missions, you are more freely to build, because, well, it doesn't require much even to play Pluto and those kinds of planets. But if you go to endless missions, voids and that stuff, it is always good to see how you play and in what aspect each frame can help you playing. So I think we should always look at all aspects and then decide, form it and invest in a frame. Because, well, what is good for one player may not be good for other, and I say this a lot of times in my videos because it's true. It may be useful for me, it may not be useful to you. If you start to build a frame based in what I say and what I experience, you may end up with something that doesn't really help you. I hope I had explained it well. I try to explain it the best way I can, but okay, let's go. Well, my friend was invite me for a game, but I can't now. So I'm going, and I'm going to change this to solo if I need to stop. Well, I didn't want to do. Where is survival? Okay. Well, I didn't want to do a Tower 4 because, well, today I already had my issues with heavy, so I thought it was enough. But, well, I need the bottle receiver for a friend, so I have to go play Tower 4, because I would prefer to play a Tower 3 survival. Well, we still had the chance to get a forma or a hash part, which is always helpful. Well, I should have refilled it first, and then activate this. Now I have to. This shotgun needs, even not having the high multi-shot that the normal Hek has, it's a very good shotgun, believe me. It doesn't stay much behind the normal Hek.
Additional life support has arrived.
Okay, I'm going to the other room. It is a little more wide open, so
Prepare for life support.
now the start isn't very hard because, well, you don't have heavies. So it's easily controlled, but the moment they start spawn, we have to be more careful because, well, it's the problem. It's always the problem is they fire from very far away, and it's very easy to be catched by a rocket. And people always disregard these melee guys, but these melee guys, they can kill you. Especially when you are so worried in the front, in your front, that you leave your back completely wide open. They reach behind. Yesterday I died because of a melee guy. I was so worried about the enemies in front of me that I completely disregard my back, and when I saw that the guy was there, he touched me a second time and killed me. It is a hilarious death, but
30-second warning. Our operative is making progress. This will help our cause. Extraction is ready. That should keep you going for a while.
My brothers, did I not tell of this day? Did I not prophesize this moment?
Get ready for a capsule.
It is time. I will teach these trespassers the redemptive
Okay, war is done.
They will learn its simple truth. I was cut in half, destroyed, but through
The only time we should be careful is when we have to reload. It's better to retreat a little bit, but I'm going to refill a bit because, well, I don't like to have less health. It's very easy to be rocketed, like I said, and die that way. It's even more frustrating.
Additional life support has arrived.
Okay, I'm going to activate this one. I still have another one there before I move to the other room. With Nova we have a big advantage, is that M Prime slow the enemies down, and believe me, that is a big help. Especially in this tier because of the damage the enemy does. And it's mostly because of that I'm playing with the shotgun. Well, with this one not so much, because it have a bigger clip, so it isn't really an issue. But for instance, if I was with a normal hack, I would only play with a frame, for instance, like Nova Mix, exactly because of the crowd control, because you fire 4 shots and you have to reload. So it is good that you have a frame that have a good crowd control, because they do a lot of damage, so you have to protect yourself, especially when you are reloading. And the hack, believe me, for 4 shots you need to reload lots of times very easy. Oh, I don't have energy, I forgot that. I'm going to use this friend. I sometimes use these friends. They are helpful. They don't resist much in this tier because, well,
Extraction is the best option.
the enemies do lots of damage, so they don't resist much, but they are still helpful.
We are running out of time. Consider extraction. I've delivered another life support capsule.
to refill again. It's the only problem of blind rage. It forces you to refill a lot because, well, here you have to use a lot. If you want to keep the enemies controlled, you have to use a little bit of your ham prime. So. Okay, I'm going to move to the other room. I don't have any more capsules in this side, so...
Tenno, prepare for life support. Another life support capsule is now available.
Ah, I can't believe. I need to refill again. So I'm going to throw a friend.
Life support on the way. Additional life support has arrived.
Well, I'm not going to do much. I'm going to rotation C and stop there, since I don't want to make a much extensive video, and it's always what I do when I play. When I play solo, I stop it going to 40 minutes. It's a lot of trouble, and to receive a crap reward, I prefer to start a new game and still have fun in the process. Because believe me, after 30 minutes this starts to be very, very tough. Alone it's very tough. Depending on the frame, of course. If you are with Loki, you don't have issues. And if you use the hushed
Additional life support has
syndicate
arrived.
mod, you don't have any issues, because that put Loki as it was before it was changed. Because before it was changed, if he fired his weapon, the enemies didn't know where he was. Then DA changed it, and whenever you fire the weapon, the enemies know your position. Can't see you, but know your position. The syndicate, the hushed syndicate mod, it makes Loki exactly as it was before that, because you can fire your weapon and the enemies don't know where you are. I prefer to lose a bit of hair and refill without too much problems, because I don't have anything behind me, and I prefer now to go and activate the capsule than try to refill in the middle of the room where enemies can get me behind.
Extraction is ready. Critical life support levels. Extraction is your best option. I've delivered another life support capsule.
Okay, I'm going to activate this one right now, since I don't need to use my ability.
That should keep you going for a while.
This is one thing that I do a lot, is move to one place to the other. Exactly because of the heavies. They are the reason of everything. Okay, it's almost that time. I'm going to extraction. As I said, I'm not going to go further, but to do survival,
They could not do this
it's
without
better to have a balanced build with efficiency. Believe me, you will do less damage with your ability, but you don't suffer the have to refill all the time, because I don't know why, but enemies in Tower 4 almost don't drop energy orbs. I don't see that problem when we have 4 players online, but when I'm playing alone, they almost don't drop orbs. It's unbelievable. it's not. If you continue, it's not much different until 30 minutes. It's very bearable. After that is when the game scale. Uh, it's it's too fast. After the 30 minutes, the enemies start to scale very quickly, and it's like you are fighting 62. The next one that appear after the door is already 67. The other one that is behind is already 72, and it's more complicated. But Nova have the M Prime that is a big help. She can't. She isn't very resistant to gunfire, but the ability make everything around you slow down, so it give you a lot of room. I most of the time, um, how should I say? I use the M Prime not with the objective to kill all the enemies, to kill the enemies right away. It's mostly because when after a point that heavy start to spawn, it's to avoid being catch off guard. So since I'm using stretch and that gives me a bit of range, I always use the M Prime. Uh, well, to don't get surprised. Of course, with sure-footed, most of the times I block the rocket, which is a big help. But if I wasn't using sure-footed, well, if the first rocket knock you down, it's probably the second will kill you. It's sometimes we also need a bit of luck. Okay, it's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Until the next video, see you around.